If you search online for ways how you can save more money, you will be able to find a lot of financial hacks, but just because someone posted them on the internet, that doesn't make them good. Some of them can genuinely be good, others apply only in specific situations, and a couple of them are only there to grab your attention and will only waste your time, money, and effort. So today I'm going to rank those hacks based on my own experience with them, how well they apply to most people, and also how efficient they can be to help you save more money. And if you have your own experience or a different opinion about any of the hacks on this list, make sure to leave them in the comments below so we can discuss more, learn from each other, and build a knowledge base about financial hacks. The first one on the list is price arbitrage, where you go and shop around in order to find the cheapest price that you can find at different sellers. For online purchases, this can be amazing, you just have to make sure that you're not getting scammed or being sold lower quality products. Now, even if this is an amazing hack in order to save more money when you're shopping online, it doesn't mean that it's the same when we're talking about going to buy physical goods in real life. You might end up wasting a lot of money in order to find the best prices, and also if those places where you find them are farther away, you will only end up spending the money that you save on fuel and transportation. I believe that it will be better for you if you spend that time in order to work more or find better paying opportunities, and only do this for higher ticket items where the price difference can actually make an impact. So let's say A tier for online shopping for better deals, but only C tier for the offline version. But if you can find an app that can help you find those offer fasters, we can also bump it up to B tier. The next hack is signing up for loyalty programs, which a couple of years ago I would have ranked higher than now. Let me explain. I would advise you to be careful about sharing your data with literally anyone, but there's recently been a growing concern around the topic of loyalty program ever since multiple retailers started to implement dynamic pricing.
Dynamic pricing.
Dynamic pricing.
Basically, just a paper label digitalized, and we are able to change the price within minutes.
Some airlines have already implemented in their systems a method to increase prices based on how many times you search for a specific flight and also how close you get to the departure time. So before you sign up for anything, you need to make sure that the money you are saving is actually worth the risk of having your data being used against you. On top of this more recent problem, it's also important to mention that the entire concept of loyalty programs has been created in order to help retailers, not customers. While it's true that you can get better deals at that specific store, those programs are created in order to make sure that you're not looking elsewhere for even better deals. So a 180 to discouraging you from actually applying the previous hack, but there's another side to this story. Your better deals as a loyal customer might not actually be any better compared to those of new people because they can schedule the same deal but at different times for different customer avatars. Every retailer is incentivized to both keep customers but also to bring in new ones, so they will have deals for everyone in the end. So because of the recent developments, I would only put this at the D tier because it's even worse than the previous hack. Making your own coffee at home, easy, S tier. Even if you have to invest into buying a new coffee machine, in the end you will end up saving much more. A cup of coffee might be one of the most overpriced items that you can buy, especially from a popular chain like Starbucks, which has a bad reputation about its overpriced items. That doesn't mean that you should never buy Starbucks, just know that you will save a ton of money by choosing to make your coffee at home instead. This is not financial advice, but if you really like Starbucks, you can use the money that you save in order to buy shares in the company and grow your money even further. I'm telling you this because investing in products that I use, love, and believe in is one of the most important pillars in my investing strategy. The next item on the list is house hacking, where instead of paying rent, you decide to go ahead and buy a large property, either a duplex or a multifamily home, in order to rent out the extra space to cover your mortgage, and then you can live there for free. As a concept, it's S tier. If executed well, it could save you the money that you would have spent on rent otherwise, and also it could help build your net worth. But there are 3 problems in this year with this hack. It's no longer easy to find good and affordable properties as the housing market is still at an all-time high. It works only if you can get low enough rates, which are only available to people that already have good credit or a high enough income. And as the global economy and the job markets are still highly unstable, less and less people are comfortable with taking on a big 30-year mortgage. Because of those reasons, I would only classify this as a B tier hack because it's no longer applicable to as many people, and also it comes with much more risk. The next one is avoid eating out or ordering food, which is A tier. Similar reasons and advantages to making your coffee at home, but with one more exception: if you can make more money in the time that you would save by ordering takeout instead of cooking. I saw a study which claimed that most people could save up to $3,000 a year by doing this, which could make a big difference in your financial journey. Another hack on the same topic: if you cannot avoid going to a restaurant, just order an appetizer. Those are usually the cheapest items on a menu. Some of them can be quite filling and you can still enjoy the experience of being at a restaurant. Furthermore, stay away from any kind of soda. Those can make you more hungry and also have the most markup at like 300% or even more. S tier, as this is applicable to everyone, it's not too much of an inconvenience and it can save you a ton of money if you have to go to events. Another similar hack: attend free local events so you can eat for free. I would say that this is more like a time waster if it's not aligned with your goals, so I would only say it's B tier. Using a cashback credit card. A tier. If you can save money on every purchase, why not just do it? Even if it's a small percentage, it will eventually grow into a bigger sum. The only drawback that I can see here is if your cashback is limited to only specific merchants that cost more, but in that case, just don't buy from them. Pay cash so you can see your money go away, so you are more careful with them. D tier. This is becoming more and more limited, it's inconvenient, and it only applies if you are not careful with your money, but you can avoid that by using a budget. Pay annual subscriptions or get bundles. B tier. This only makes a big impact if it's done at scale or with big discounts, but those are usually reserved for businesses, not for consumers. For normal people like you and me, those deals are there only to keep us on the platform for at least a year, hoping that we forget to cancel the renewal. If you stay and analyze, there are very few subscriptions that you actually need for an entire year, and you are better off if you cancel and renew whenever you need them again. Also, make sure that you never buy anything, especially something that you have to commit for an entire year before you try it out. Don't buy extended warranties. S tier for sure. For any big purchase, you need a warranty, but not an extended warranty. Just think about it from a commercial standpoint. It makes a lot of sense for retailers to push extended warranties because very few people actually get to use them, so it increases the profit of each sale. It's more likely that by the time that you reach the extended warranty, you will want to get a newer model instead of repairing the existing one, so it's just a waste of your money. Buy and book, another very clear S tier. Just a good overall hack that applies to groceries, electronics, and many other small items that you need a lot of. I know someone that a couple of years ago bought like 100 pairs of his favorite headphones and he still uses them to this day. First of all, you already save money by locking in a cheaper price that won't be affected by inflation down the line. And on top of that, you can also save money by getting bigger discounts that are only available when you buy in large quantities. Just make sure that you're not wasting your money here by only buying in bulk items that you will absolutely use, or when it comes to food that you can consume before it expires. Another hack closely tied to the previous one: only go to the store once a week, which I would put at B tier. Why should you do that? Because it's supposed to make you less likely to make impulse purchases that can happen every time you go to the store, and also it can reduce your transportation cost. It's a good hack that applies to most people, but I don't think that it makes that much of a difference, especially if you have some self-control. Also, there are items that you will need more times per week, so it's not that generally applicable, so yeah, only B tier. Another closely related hack to the previous two: buy directly from manufacturers. A tier. There's been a growing trend of people going to manufacturers in China, Turkey, or other places and buying directly from them because it makes the items so much cheaper just by ditching the middleman. I know that this works great on gym equipment, home furniture and such, and it can save you a ton of money, especially on big purchases. It takes longer and you need to be careful of scammers, but besides that, it's an amazing hack. I had initially planned to review like 35 hacks today, but this video is already getting too long. So if you want a second part, make sure to leave a like so I know, add your own hacks in the comments so I can review them, and subscribe so you don't miss out when I post the next video.